This video is brought to you by Gladiator Concealment and S4 Tactical Gear. Links are in the description box below. What's up, guys? It's Michael and Kyle with AKM Tactical. We appreciate y'all watching. Today we want to do the official review of the Canik TP9 SF Elite.
That's a mouthful.
That's a lot of, that's a mouthful. Just wait till you see the next gun we talk about. That's really a mouthful. But anyways, the Canik TP9 SF Elite. This thing is awesome.
Shooter, man.
It is a shooter. I can't necessarily say anything bad about this gun. You know, this is they're made by Canik, but they're imported by Century Arms, and they're from Turkey. These guns are from Turkey. If you're,
not the gobble.
Yeah, no, from the country Turkey. If you're not into that, whatever. There's people that have issue with
terrorism.
Whatever. Yeah, evidently I'm financing terrorism by buying a gun made in Turkey, but okay, whatever. As far as the trigger goes on this gun has the best trigger of probably any striker fire gun I've ever shot.
Yeah, it's up there.
It is up there.
It's up there with your VP9. It's up there with a TP9SF. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the thing about it is the SF, the SF Elite, and the SFX all have the same trigger.
Yeah.
So you get that same consistency, but this is their Glock 19 size gun. The SF is their Glock 17 size, and the SFX is like their Glock 34 size.
Right.
I don't know that Canik will come out with a 26 size, like a subcompact gun, but if they did, that would be cool with me. I would be fine with that. This gun has a 15+1 capacity, and it will also take the 18 rounders and the 20 rounders. So, it's another one of those guns that you can buy. Buy this gun and you can use all the magazines that are made for the Canik. It'll take the SF mags, the SA. It takes all those magazines. So, it's very concealable. It's very comfortable to hold. It's one of those things that they did right off the bat what Glock should have done. They should have kept with the Gen after the Gen 2s. The Gen 3s Glock introduced the finger grooves, and not everybody You know, some people, Kyle, he doesn't mind the
I
finger
don't
grooves.
care. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there that don't like finger grooves. Me personally being one of them. And they took care of that, and the gun doesn't have the finger grooves. It's very comfortable. The texturing on it is good. You know, I don't really...
It's adequate.
It works. The gun stays in your hand. I am going to probably send this one off and get it stippled. I may end up doing it myself. I don't know. But I am thinking about sending it off. Because all the guns that I own that are stippled, I've done myself. And I've never owned one that was done by a professional company. So I may send this one off.
And it's not that expensive, guys.
Yeah, it's like...
NAF Solutions is...
$75, maybe.
That's a little... It's
Is
in
it
there
100?
Yeah.
I mean, even at $100, that's still... I mean...
Yeah.
Trust me, if you stipple guns, $100 is cheap.
It takes a lot.
It takes a long time and a lot of tedious work. It's very time consuming and you have to take a lot of breaks. So $100 to me is worth it. You know, and I'll have a professional stipple job on here. I've talked to the guy at NAF, and he's done a few Canics, and he's down to do it. So there's no issue there. You know, we've talked about in the initial video and probably in the follow-up, this is the third video we've done on the TP9, that it has an ambi slide release or slide lock, whatever you want to call it. The magazine release can be changed over to the other side. It does have a big magazine release button on it. I do like that. That's one thing about the Gen 3 Glocks that it wasn't something that bothered me necessarily, but I'd like the Gen 4 mag releases a lot better. I like the big mag release. The trigger on it, like I said, is fantastic. You know, we were talking about it just a minute ago. It's a little wide.
Yeah,
the trigger's a little wide.
shoe is wide.
The shoe of the trigger's a little wide. It's not. I mean, it's not like I can't shoot this gun because the trigger shoe is too wide. But you know, it's just a little something that he's noticed, and I've noticed it too.
And I don't shoot this gun as much as Michael. Now, when he first got it, how many rounds did we put through it initially? I mean, it was a ton.
It was a lot. This gun's had over 1,000 rounds.
I want to say, yeah, but I want to say we got 500 through it.
We got at least 500 through it on the first day. Yeah.
And you don't notice it after you shot it for a while, but you know, just coming from Glocks, I just, you know, whenever I, you know, press out, it just feels wider. That doesn't make a hill of beans. My thing about this Canik is that they listened to, you know, what was going on in the gun community. They learned that everybody likes the forward cock serrations. They, you know, got the oversized mag release.
Yep.
They even have like a contact point up here stippled, or textured rather. It came out the box with good sights.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got a Warren Tactical rear and a fiber optic front. It's a very narrow blade, so I mean you can do some tight groups. It's got a U-notch in the back.
It's got a good ledge on the back.
Yeah, and that's a good ledge for one-handed manipulations. But they really listened to what was going on. They're really in tune to what, you know, consumers like, and they put it in this gun. Just the fact that they came out with a Glock 19 size gun, you know, because you know they were selling military contracts. Am I correct?
Overseas, yeah.
Overseas, not over here. But so you know, for them to go make a gun for the concealed carry market was impressive.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a rail on the front for a light. Yeah. I don't have any complaints about this. Oh, another thing is the Cerakote on it has really held up well. Yeah,
that's a I believe it's tungsten gray is what they call it, and yeah, it's held up very well. It's had quite a few reps in and out of this Go Hard holsters, and that holster from Go Hard, and it's held up nice. I mean, this holster is not exactly the fit is great on it, but you can feel it catching the slide all the way down, and I mean it really has held up. There's only a couple of little places where it's, you know, where the finish is wearing off. I'm not one of those that cares about that. I really don't. That's just the way that the gun world is. But there's a lot of guys out there that they want their gun to look brand new and pristine all the time. I'm not one of those people, but for you guys that are that way, the finish is held up really well. For the abuse.
And you know we run these things.
This gun has had a lot of rounds through it. And the thing is, this gun has had 99% of it has been steel cased. cheap steel cased ammo, the cheapest crap you can buy, and it just eats it up like no problems.
And I can honest,
none,
zero.
And I know. And we'll touch on that for a second, and then we'll get back to the review. People that say this gun has had no malfunctions, zero malfunctions. Every gun is going to malfunction. It's going to. But this one, in over 1,000 rounds, hasn't yet.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Now, I know 1,000 rounds, there's guys out there that's going to say, hey, holler at me in 5,000 rounds. And in 5,000 rounds, we may talk about some hiccups. But in 1,000 rounds, 1,000 plus, give or take, nothing. It went bang every time.
And let's be real. This doesn't apply to our viewers,
right?
Because I know you guys are shooters that are watching this video, but 90% of the people that own guns their guns aren't going to see 1,000 rounds
ever
in
the entire time
in its
they
lifetime.
own them. Yeah,
they're going to go out and they're going to shoot it, a few times, and then put it up, put it in a holster, put it in a safe, and that's it. They're not going to train with it, and they're not going to run it. We know that doesn't pertain to y'all because we know y'all are shooters. But so 1,000 rounds, by the market standard, is fine.
This Glock 17, this Glock 19, this Glock 19. I don't know. I don't even know a round count on it.
A bunch.
A buttload. Yeah, I don't even have a round count on this gun. It has seen a lot of ammunition through it, and it just keeps on trucking.
You and I probably have, between our 19s, which there's 3 19s we're talking about, but we probably are approaching 10,000 rounds.
Yeah, I would imagine 19s. So. Because my old 19 had a ton of rounds through it too.
Yeah, and I've got at least 4.
Yeah,
4,000.
We're probably getting close to 10 through the 3 of them.
Yeah, if not beyond that. So.
But back to the Canik. The one thing that I have found about it that is a complaint for me, it's not for everybody, but it's the way my hands are shaped, it's a complaint for me. The way that I normally grip a gun, this slide catch, slide release, slide lock, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of beefy and it digs into my hand. What I have found is if I just drop my grip just a hair, I mean not even enough to mess with the recoil management, but just enough to get under it, it's not a problem after that. Some of you guys are going to say, well, that's a whole nother training issue, and it is, but in a self-defense situation, if I had to pull this gun, I'm not going to be going, okay, get my hand here. I'm going to probably grab it, and it's going to dig into me, and I'm not going to care.
Yeah, we're talking about like 250 range.
Right. We're talking about like that day we put 500 rounds through it. I had a pretty good little blister going right there, but that was because I was learning where to grip it at. Every gun is a little different, and you have to grip them a little different.
Everybody's paws are different too.
Everybody's hands are different. That's right.
I didn't have issue with it.
I'm not going to grip my 19 the same way that I'll grip a 43 or a 42 or something like that. I'm not going to grip my 19 or my Canik the same way I'll grip a 1911. It's just a little different. It's the same basic grip, but sometimes you have to change it up just a hair to make it to where it's comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why they went with such a large release there. Maybe that was like a competition thing.
Yeah, and it was probably cheaper to just run the same one on every one of them.
So, but it works. Mm-hmm. It runs.
It works on both sides too, and that's very important when you're talking about an ambi slide release or slide lock, whatever you want to call it. It's very important that it runs the same on both sides. And if you break that gun open, which I think we've done in a previous video, you'll see that it's very beefy, and it's exactly the same on both sides. So that's very important. All that's very important.
Yep.
But guys, I don't have any complaints about the gun. Like I said, that one little issue, that's not necessarily a complaint. That's just something I had to change up to make it to where I could run it comfortably for hundreds of rounds.
And look, guys, we're not trying to pump this gun up at all.
Right.
We're not. We shoot Glocks primarily. This is kind of a little dip out into something else for us. I've got a Canik that has been reliable. I haven't had an issue. But there's no need for us to go tell you, hey, I like this gun. We're not getting anything from the company or anything like that. So what I'm saying is if you're not into Glocks, or if you're on a tight budget and you want a gun that's out of the box with features ready to roll, then this is a option for you.
Yeah.
It has proven 100% reliable, and it's done everything we've asked of it.
Yeah, and that was kind of where my next and I guess probably final point, because I don't really have anything else to say about it, is this gun sells for about $430 plus tax.
Yeah.
$440, somewhere around in there. You can have this gun for under $500. Considering the fact that all you have to do is buy this gun and buy your magazines and buy a holster and a mag pouch. Like, what's not to like about it?
Yeah.
It doesn't need a set of sights. It doesn't need to be stippled. I'm going to get it stippled because I want it stippled, but it doesn't have to be. There's no trigger guard modifications or nothing that I just feel like I have to make with this gun. This gun is out of the box, ready to roll. And buy you some extra magazines, buy a holster and a mag pouch, and go to work, man. I mean, it's you can have your whole system good to go for $6 or $7, $6 or $650, somewhere around in there. Magazines can be bought pretty cheap.
How many magazines does it come with?
It comes with 2, and
so you're gonna need at least 3 more.
You'll need at least 3 more, and I think they can be had for about $25 a piece.
Yeah,
they're not super expensive. So
$75. You're talking probably another $60, $70 on a holster.
Yeah, I mean, and you're pretty much good to go.
You're in the game.
Run you some hollow points through it. Make sure it's gonna run them, and you're good to go. So on a budget, it's hard to beat. And if you're on a budget and you still want that Glock style of being able to have interchangeable magazines, and one holster will run the full size and the compact, the Canik might be a good option for you. It's certainly a good gun that will do what you want it to.
Or maybe you just like products that come out of turkey.
Yeah, maybe you just like turkey.
Turkey in the morning, turkey in the evening.
And if that's the case,
turkey at supper time.
Go pick you up a Canik.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about it, man. You got anything else?
No, guys, it's squared away.
Yeah.
I would trust my life to it. I don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've been carrying it some, actually. I will say that one last thing about it. If you are a VP9 person, it is a close competitor as far as the shape and the sight picture, the way it looks, and all that kind of stuff.
It's in that VP9 Walther market.
Yeah, and I know people's going to say a Canik versus a VP9, really? I mean, that's like two totally. It shouldn't even be in the same sentence, but it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is. I've shot and handled both. I don't like either one over the other, really.
Yeah, they're right there.
And the Canik's $450, the VP9's $600, $650.
You can get you can't. They've come down on the price.
Have they?
Yeah, you can get a VP9 right now for right around $500, and they're doing a mag deal on them.
Oh,
I didn't tell you that.
That's a pretty good deal.
I know. I should have told him because he might have went and bought one.
Yeah, instead of what you're going to see that I bought. Yeah, I would have bought a gray framed. But anyways, that's beside the point.
You can get threaded barrel version too.
Yeah, that may have to happen. All right. Anyways, guys, I don't have anything else to say about this gun. You man?
No, I like it. Yeah. It gets a stamp of approval.
Yep. Yeah.
AKM Tactical right on the side of it.
Approved, baby. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all watching. You know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, or if you actually own one of these, put it in the comment section below, or jump over to the Facebook page. We always get into a more in-depth conversation there. We will also provide links to all of our social media outlets and sponsors in the description box below.
Subscribe. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you subscribe. We appreciate y'all watching, and y'all be safe.